Box by Christina Dalcher. If anyone told me I could bring down the president and the pure movement, and that incompetent little shit Morgan LeBron in a week's time, I wouldn't believe them. But I wouldn't argue. I wouldn't say a thing. I become a woman of few words. Tonight at supper, before I speak my final syllables of the day, Patrick reaches over and taps his silver-toned device around my left wrist. It's a light touch, as if he were sharing the pain, or perhaps reminding me to stay quiet until the counter resets itself at midnight. This magic will happen while I sleep, and I'll begin Tuesday with a virgin slate. My daughter Sonia's counter will do the same. My boys do not wear word counters. Over dinner, they are all engaged in the usual chatter about school. Sonia also attends school, although she never wastes words discussing her days. At supper, between bites of a simple stew I made from memory, Patrick questions her about her progress in home economics, physical fitness, and new course titled Simple Accounting for Households. Is she obeying the teachers? Will she earn high marks this term? She knows exactly the type of questions to ask, close-ended, requiring only a nod or a shake of the head. I watch and listen, my nails carving half-moons into the flesh of my palms. Sonia nods when appropriate, wrinkles her nose when my young twins, not understanding the importance of yes-no interrogatives and finite answer sets. Ask their sister to tell them what the teachers are like, how the classes are, which subject she likes best. So many open-ended questions, I refuse to think that they do understand that they're baiting her, testing out words. But at 11, they're old enough to know, and they've seen what happens when we overuse words. Sonia's lips quiver as she looks from one brother to another, the pink of her tongue trembling on the edge of her teeth or the plump of her lower lip. A body part with a mind of its own, undulating. Stephen, my eldest, extends a hand and touches his forefinger to her mouth. I could tell them what they want to know, all men at the front of the classroom now. One-way system. Teachers talk, students listen. It would cost me 16 words. I have 5 left. How is her vocabulary? Patrick asks, knocking his chin my way. He rephrases. Is she learning? I shrug. By 6, Sonia should have an array of 10,000 lexems, individual troops that assemble and come to attention and obey the orders her small, still plastic brain issues. Should have, if the 3 R's weren't now reduced to 1. Simple arithmetic. After all, one day my daughter will be expected to shop and to run a household, to be devoted and dutiful wife. Need math for that, but not spelling, not literature, not a voice. You're the cognitive linguist, Patrick says, gathering empty plates, urging Stephen to do the same. Was. Are. In spite of my year of practice, the extra words leak out before I can stop them. No, I'm not. Patrick watches the counter tick off another 3 entries. I feel the pressure of each of my pulse like an ominous drum. That's enough, Jean, he says. The boys exchange worried looks, the kind of worry that comes from knowing what occurs if the counter surpasses those 3 digits. 1, 0, 0. This is when I say my last Monday word to my daughter. The whisper goodnight has barely escaped when Patrick's eyes meet mine, pleading. I scoop her up and carry her off to bed. She's heavier now, almost too much girl to be hoisted up, and I need both arms. Sonia smiles at me when I tuck her under the sheets. As usual, there's no bedtime story, no exploring Dora, no Pooh and Piglet, no Peter Rabbit and his misadventures in Mr. McGregor's lettuce patch. It's frightening what she's grown to accept as normal. I hum her to sleep with a song about mockingbirds and billy goats. The verses still and quiet. pictures in my mind's eye. Patrick watches from the door. His shoulders, once broad and strong, slump in a downward-facing V. His forehead is creasing in matching lines. Everything about him seems to be pointing down.